Days of Our Lives 2-week breakdown. Connie captured and conning Chad. Salem's villains are at it again. Days of Our Lives spoilers for September 23 October 4 tease developments in Connie's and Fiona's crimes and drama on the set of Body and Soul. Lights, camera, explosion. In true soap fashion, things have been fast-moving at Body and Soul as Abe, James Reynolds, and Kate, Lauren Koslow, finish casting their new show. With rivals Alex, Robert Scott Wilson, and Channel, Raven Bowens, about to become daytime's new supercouple, it looks like there may be more drama on the set soon. After Connie, Julie Dove, concluded her revenge plot by planting a bomb in the DiMera mansion and attempting to finish off Gabby, Sherry Jimenez, and Melinda, Tina Huang, it was E.J., Dan Feuerriegel, to the rescue. After bringing Gabby to the hospital, the two may continue to bond while Iva, Tamara Braun, tends to Stefan's, Brandon Barish, stab wound from Connie. Meanwhile, after Sander, Paul Telfer, set out to kill Brady, Eric Martsolf, Fiona finally confessed to her son. She had slept with Brady. The news has made Sander even more furious with Brady. While his mother's crime still remains a secret only she, and Victoria, and Victor's portrait, knows. Soon, in Salem, killer Connie will finally be caught, while Brady will face another moment of turmoil, and Abigail, Annalyn McCord, will make more strides in conning Chad, Billy Flynn. The dim glow of Salem's skyline faded into the distance as the night engulfed the town in shadows. But the tension between Connie and Chad remained electric, as if it charged the very air around them. It had been a whirlwind few weeks for Chad DiMera, ever since Connie Strickland had returned to Salem under a cloud of suspicion. Some said she was back for revenge. Others thought she was seeking redemption. Chad wasn't sure what to believe, but something about her didn't sit right. Week 1. The capture. It started with an anonymous tip. Rafe Hernandez had been tracking Connie for months, suspecting her involvement in a series of financial crimes that stretched from Miami to the heart of Salem. The evidence was circumstantial but damning. Shell companies, fake charities, and offshore accounts all pointed back to Connie, yet she remained elusive. Her charm and cunning allowed her to slip through the cracks more than once, leaving Salem PD frustrated and Chad increasingly paranoid. Chad had reasons to be cautious. His recent business ventures put him in the crosshairs of several competitors, and Connie had always been a wild card. Once a close friend of his late wife Abigail, her sudden reappearance in Salem raised too many red flags. Chad found himself torn between loyalty to his memories of Abby and the gut feeling that Connie was more dangerous than she let on. Rafe finally caught a break on a rainy Thursday evening. A lead on Connie's whereabouts brought him to a small cabin just outside town. Chad, who had been obsessively tracking her movements on his own, decided to tag along, despite Rafe's protests. As the rain poured down in sheets, lightning slashing through the sky, the two men burst through the door of the cabin, only to find Connie standing calmly by the fire, her hands up in a mock gesture of surrender. "I've been expecting you," she said with a smile that sent shivers down Chad's spine. Connie didn't resist as Rafe handcuffed her, but there was something unsettling about her calm demeanor. Even in chains, she had an air of control, as if everything was unfolding exactly as she had planned. "I wouldn't celebrate just yet," she whispered to Chad as she was escorted out. "You got no idea what's coming." Those words echoed in Chad's mind long after she was taken away. Week 2. The con. By the next morning, Chad was pacing his office at DiMera Enterprises, replaying every interaction he'd had with Connie since her return. The woman was a mystery wrapped in a riddle, and Chad couldn't shake the feeling that she was playing a game, one he wasn't sure he could win. Meanwhile, Connie sat in the interrogation room at the Salem Police Department, a Cheshire cat grin never leaving her face. Rafe tried every tactic in the book, but she remained tight-lipped, offering nothing except veiled threats and cryptic remarks. "You're wasting your time," she said at one point. "I'm not the one you should be worried about." But it wasn't until Chad received a phone call later that afternoon that everything changed. The voice on the other end was familiar, but the message was terrifying. "Chad, you need to get down here. Now, when Chad arrived at the police station, his stomach dropped. Connie had been released. Rafe explained that there wasn't enough solid evidence to hold her, and she made a phone call to someone high up in the Salem legal system, a name Chad recognized all too well. Someone was pulling strings for her. "She's not out of the woods yet," Rafe assured him. "We're keeping a close watch. She'll slip up." But Chad wasn't so sure. He felt like the walls were closing in, and every time he thought he had the upper hand, Connie found a way to wiggle free. The next few days were a blur of meetings and late-night phone calls as Chad tried to figure out what Connie's angle was. He even confided in Kate Roberts, who had her own history with Connie, and advised him to tread carefully. "She's dangerous, Chad," Kate warned over a glass of wine at the DeMera mansion. "She knows how to make people trust her, and then she uses it to tear them apart. Don't underestimate her." But it was already too late. Chad had let his guard down, and now he was trapped in Connie's web. One evening, Chad returned home to find a note slipped under his door. It was from Connie. "Meet me at the docks. Midnight. We need to talk." Against his better judgment, Chad went. The docks were deserted, the air thick with the scent of salt water and secrets. Connie was waiting, leaning casually against a crate, as if they were old friends meeting for a chat. "I'm glad you came," she said, her voice dripping with false sincerity. Chad's heart raced. "What do you want, Connie? Why are you doing this?" She smiled, stepping closer, her eyes gleaming with mischief. "It's not about what I want, Chad. It's about what you want. You need to start asking the right questions." Before Chad could respond, she handed him a small envelope. "Inside is everything you need to know, but be careful. Once you open it, there's no turning back." Chad hesitated, but curiosity got the better of him. He opened the envelope and pulled out a single photograph. His breath caught in his throat as he stared at the image. It was a picture of Abigail, alive and well, standing in front of a hotel in Paris. Chad looked up in shock, but Connie was already walking away. "Like I said," she called over her shoulder, "you got no idea what's coming." The web tightens. Over the next week, Chad's life spiraled into chaos. The photograph haunted him. He couldn't believe it was real, but something deep inside told him it was. Was Abigail really alive? And if so, what role did Connie play in her disappearance? As Chad delved deeper into the mystery, he began to realize that Connie wasn't just conning him. She was manipulating everyone around her. She had orchestrated a master plan, one that involved not only Chad, but the entire DeMera empire. The more Chad unraveled the threads, the more dangerous the game became. Every step forward only seemed to draw him further into Connie's trap. And as the days ticked by, Chad couldn't shake the feeling that time was running out. The 2-week period was coming to a close, but Connie wasn't finished. Not by a long shot, and neither was the chaos she was about to unleash on Salem.